the book research thing that you mentioned that you're talking about before we hop on to love conversation. It's it's unfortunate that we started with.
No, I mean I don't mind talking about this at all.
And the tattoos. Let's talk tattoos. Do they have any like specific significance? And how many tattoos do you have?
I have 9.
9.
Most of them are very small. You wouldn't even know that I had them.
Let's start with.
That's just decoration. Like a lot of people here.
It has no meaning.
No, I just like the way it looks. But people here think. I always think it's so stupid that tattoos have to have a meaning.
You can't just have an eye on your finger.
I just liked it. That's why I put it on there. But people here think it's like an evil eye some of the time.
Oh yeah. And for the 4.2.
Yeah.
What's that?
So I.
Closer to the mic.
I had an eating disorder for a very long time.
Eating disorder.
Yeah. Are you familiar with them? They're not as common here as they are.
No, people force me. I force people choose for me foods to eat on my Insta stories. I don't think it's the same thing, is it?
No, and it mostly
like eating a lot or less.
It could be both. Most people that have an eating disorder have some sort of unresolved trauma, or they don't really know how to deal with their feelings and their emotions, so they just focus all of their attention and their energy on their food.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Which is a very unhealthy way to...
Yeah.
Like, it's an unhealthy relationship that you have with food, of course. So for me, that meant that I would go days without eating, and then on other days I would be so hungry by then that I would, binge eat. So I would eat all the fucking food that I could find and then throw up afterwards, and I would use laxatives and just all kinds of weird behavior. But people think it's a superficial disorder, that it's only about wanting to look good. But it's not. No, it's.
So what were you going through? So
that's a story for another
it's
day.
A whole different podcast.
Yeah.
But not a breakup though, right?
5 hours. No, it was way more intense than just a breakup. It was something that happened to me in my childhood, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So eating and not eating.
Don't tell me like another.
Yeah, psychologically. Yeah. So I didn't know how to deal with that because I was way too young. I didn't even know how to express what had happened to me. So eating was just a way for me to, somehow deal with whatever I was going through. So I. Yeah.
And then where do the laxatives come in? Because I remember even there's a time, doctor prescribed some laxatives to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what laxatives were.
Oh, you didn't?
So
they make you have diarrhea.
Listen. I'm leaving the house, and he specifically told me, you know what? Make sure you take these when you're around the house.
Yeah.
So I had forgotten to take, I think, one before I went to bed or something. And I took it when I was going to town.
No!
Ooh.
Don't ever do that, people.
Ooh. No, but I didn't shit my pants. But let's just say I told the driver he has 2 options. To either stop the car right now or they have a very serious mess to deal with. And, when I got off the matatu, it was just like... Ooh.
Looking for a bathroom.
Yeah, that's how, anytime somebody mentions laxative right now, I'm like, let's think of another alternative, shall we?
Yeah, I get that.
But so you used to pop those just for...
So
putting yourself through.
So some days I wouldn't be eating at all, like I just said, and then on other days I would be overeating, like compensating because I was so hungry from starving myself.
Yeah.
So somehow that made me look normal. Like I was never fat, nor was I skinny. I just looked normal because on some days I was eating, on other days I wasn't. But in my mind I was very disturbed. But people couldn't see from the outside.
Was this like in your teenage years or something?
Yeah, it's for most people it starts in their teens. I was 12, I would say.
I won't ask details, but like what kind of recreational activities do you do like in Is it Holland?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do there for fun? Like recreation purposes? Were you
As a kid,
playing sports? Yeah, like at
yeah,
that
like
age, what do
regular
people
stuff. Just
do? Were you still doing them, or were you isolated when?
I know I was still doing all that normal stuff. I didn't even know what was happening to me when I first started to exhibit the first signs of an eating disorder. I didn't even know what an eating disorder was.
Yeah.
But my mom recognized it. She knew that there was something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had bulimia for the most part.
What's
So you
that?
have there's a couple of main eating disorders. So
Yeah.
there's anorexia, where you
actually-
starve
yeah,
yourself as
okay.
much as possible.
Yeah.
There's bulimia, which is what I mostly had, which is when you go through periods of not eating, and then you start overeating, and then once you've eaten way too much, you try to get rid of all the food that you've just eaten. So that's why people with bulimia, they overeat, and then afterwards they will start exercising very excessively, or they will throw up all of their food, which is what I did, or they will start using laxatives, like I just said, to get rid of all the extra food that they've just eaten.
Yeah.
So that's why I took those laxatives, because I had an eating disorder. And then once I was sick from the time that I was 12 up until I was around 22, so 10 years. But then when I was 17, that was the first time that I kind of admitted, I think I have a problem.
Yeah, this is not normal.
This is not normal what I'm doing. And then I started following this very intense therapy course at a clinic that was specialized in eating disorders. And the group that I was put in, because you're usually being treated within a group who have the same, with people who have the same sort of problems.
Yeah.
And the group that I was in was called the 4.2 group. So that's why I got the number tattooed on my arm. So whenever afterwards, when I was not feeling that well, or I had tendencies to, fall back into that behavior, I would just look at my arm and try to remember
at least
all the
remember that,
all the stuff that
I don't need
was
to go through
taught.
this again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're definitely getting you a fruit salad. I don't think we're having any more pancakes or anything crazy. On this table.
Right now I'm good.
But you have everything in control right now, right?
Yeah. I'm good right now. It's just something that you have to be mindful of for the rest of your life. It never really goes away 100%. You can learn how to be in control of it, but I wouldn't say you would ever be cured 100%. It's always kind of a soft spot, So that's
crazy,
what the 4.2 stands for. But I don't like the way they tattooed this.
It's a nice one. It's definitely.
No, it's not.
It is.
They didn't do a very good job with this.
How would you want it to?
It should have been it's kind of fading, and it's not even that old.
You can get a cover up.
And
Come on.
Yeah, I will get a cover
What
up
about
one day.
the one on your wrist? What's this?
This was from the time that I
269.
Can I
guess? Can I guess?
Yeah.
Your ex's house number?
God, no. I would have cut off my arm by
I'll
now.
never forget your house. Yeah,
No.
okay.
So I told you that I used to be an animal rights activist, and I was part of a group of animal rights activists that was called 269.
Oh, wow.
And
You actually got a tattoo.
Yeah.
Do you regret having that one, or?
No,
it's still
I still stand behind the meaning 100%.
Oh, okay.
But it's just annoying because a lot of people ask me, what does it mean? And then you have to get into the story again
it's a
and
number.
again and again.
You have to.
Yeah.
I have to ask. So those are 3. You have more?
1, 2, 3. This one over here, that's just decoration.
Okay, so that no meaning at all?
No, this is my younger sister's name. That's a very Dutch name. That's probably going to be hard for you to pronounce.
I can't. I thought it was like a pulse.
It kind of looks like a pulse.
Is that M-Y?
Yeah. R.
M-Y-R.
T-H-E. Meerte.
Is that me?
Meerte.
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 Meerte?
Yeah.
Meerte.
Meerte. That's her name.
Meerte. Okay. I'm just trying. I'm trying out here. Yeah. So what else? Do you have a close relationship? Clearly, if you have,
Yeah, we do. Even
small
though
sister or big sister?
she's younger than I am.
Mm.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
So what
younger.
made you get a tattoo of her name? You just love her that much?
Yeah, and she just moved away to the US, and I was
Oh,
missing
she's
her.
the one that you actually go and
Right.
visit.
Yeah, so
Yeah, at least.
I only have one sister and my brother, who's not really my brother, but I still call him my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, I don't have any siblings. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other tattoo?
This one, it says "Survival of the Fittest" in
Okay.
my own handwriting. This was from the same time period as when I got the 4.21.
What does this represent?
It's just a reminder to stay strong in
Mm.
order to make
Okay.
it through life.
Yeah.
So how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7.
Then I have an airplane. No, I have an airplane on my back over here.
Okay, we don't need you to take your clothes off right now. It's not that kind of podcast. It's not that kind of podcast.
It might decrease your ratings.
Or increase or decrease. You're like, whoosh. And then you know how you can do like a thumbnail that, it looks like you're almost like. So one at your back.
Yeah, the airplane, which is, it's pretty.
Is it a big tattoo or small?
No, it's pretty small. I got it in Kampala.
Ah, okay.
So I didn't know the guy who was doing it, and I didn't know if he was gonna do a good job.
And you still let him mess.
Yeah, I think I was a little tipsy that day.
Jeez. And that's why I wanted to ask you another. But those are all, right?
No, and then I have another one in my neck that's a little.
Visible though or not?
Yeah, it's a little clothing hanger, because I wanted to get into fashion for the longest time.
Okay. Okay.
And then I have one big one that's on my leg. That's Africa.
Let me see.
Hold on.
I'm not taking off your clothes.
No, I'll just pull up my dress.
Okay. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Okay, okay.
So that's it.
Yeah. So what we'll do, probably we'll do like just, she'll do an Insta story
Yeah.
of just like,
Just the visible ones, though. I'm not gonna be taking off my clothes. here.
don't push it. Just let's just be civil. We want the podcast blacklisted anytime soon, not yet. Or if we do, we know what we can give it more ratings, If you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So when you're choosing a place to go get a tattoo, like that, for the leg, that's a lot of details, colors and everything. That I can definitely tell. It took some time, and of course you had to trust someone to give them like a big space to actually do the tattoo. Was that done in Kenya?
No.
Africa?
No.
Netherlands?
Back home, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, definitely. I can see where the trust issues are. You have to be, if I don't trust you, small tattoo. But do you pick, or you just don't care? It can be like,
I never really.
like you say, do you get tattoos when you're high or?
No, I'm not really that much of a drinker, but I just get drunk very quickly. That's my problem. But usually I don't spend months preparing and thinking about tattoos before I get them. I just get them. I don't really care that much. We're all gonna die anyways.
Hey, listen, we don't wanna think about that. Like I had like this podcast segment where we were talking about this. I was just so depressed. I was like, I don't want to think about we're about to leave this place anytime soon. And if we do, that's why I need so much more content to put out there. I need to leave a mark.
I'm not saying that I will die next year. I'm just saying we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Might as well get into my casket with a few tattoos on my body. Who's gonna care?
Wow. Any plans on getting any more tattoos?
Yeah, I want to get a giraffe somewhere.
Twiga.
Yeah, because everybody always calls me Twiga here.
Yeah. And you've been to the giraffe center, right?
I have been there, yeah.
Did you kiss the giraffe?
I did. I was there with my best friend, and she was so grossed out because she
Oh, the tongue
thinks
just
everything
is
is gross, and she's like, "Ugh, Charlotte, I'm never gonna touch you again." She had all these disinfectants with her, and she was like rubbing my entire face with it afterwards.
Come on. Yeah, that's quite an experience. Okay, let's move to